Hello, and welcome to Addiction in Video Game Form. Also, I'm really out of practice doing this. I did a whole intro to this video and realized I wasn't recording, so I'm gonna have to, get back into the game, I think. But I wanted to show this off because, well, it was my addiction at one point. I used to play this quite a lot because it's surprisingly good. Of course, now Elden Ring has my time gripped tightly, so I'm playing this in my off time when I'm not playing Elden Ring sometimes. It's one of those games where you can definitely just, load it up and do a run, see how far you get, see how well you do. It's a wave survival, kind of. You are the bullet hell, and you have to survive for 30 minutes. Sounds easy enough? Well, this game likes to throw in a few extra things to make it a little tougher for you. Now, you might look and see I have a lot of money, and that's because I have refunded all of my power-ups. These are things you can unlock to progressively get more powerful throughout the game, like the roguelite element. But I've turned them all off because I want to give you the experience you would usually get if you start this game off. I've done all of the achievements, I've unlocked all of the reasonable characters, and I've pretty much experienced the majority of the game. I was a few item buys away from maxing out everything, because I've played this a lot. We're going to start with the base boy, which are definitely not Simon Belmont character. And we'll go in Mad Forest. Alright, and this is it. This is the game. You are here. We are here. We're automatically firing our whip, and we have to walk around and position ourselves in a way to be able to kill the bats as effectively as possible. I am so slow. Oh my god. I will say that it comes to a point where you can unlock a hyper mode, and that kind of speeds up the gameplay a lot. So I'm used to that, not having it on. My god, it's so slow. But here we go. We've leveled up, and with every level we get to either choose a new ability or upgrade an existing one. So in this case, I'm going to choose the magic wand, which automatically fires at an enemy. At this stage, that's pretty good. I will take that because that will make my life a little easier. So we're just going to be shooting some bats, going around and getting our experience. We can also use these torches to get money, which again is used for buying power-ups or characters when you unlock the criteria for character unlocks, which are tied to the achievements. So if you want to get new items and stuff, you have to work on the achievements, which is why I've done them all, because it is important that I have everything. The money is used to be able to unlock those characters and buy the items and such. Okay, so we have the knife, which will fire in the direction that we're facing, which is very useful if we want to carve a path out of a lot of enemies. But then we also have Santa Water, which is basically it rains from the sky and does like an AoE thing. And the Clock Lancet, which is a freeze. I'm not going to use that because I'm not really into that right now. That's not something I'm trying to do. That's for a very specific build, for a very specific task in which I am not confident in doing, because I don't actually feel like I would be very good at doing it anyway. I'm being very vague for no apparent reason, but basically there's this character you can unlock by defeating a certain character that appears at the 30-minute mark, which is technically meant to be impossible, but I think there is a way of doing it. Either way, that's complicated info that isn't needed for this early on. So, Santa Water. We have a shield which protects us from damage, or we have this, which is a passive item, which is separate from our main items. We can only have 6 of each. We can have 6 weapons and 6 passives. And I'm going to get the Santa Water because I wouldn't mind loading up a bit on weapons first to be able to better grind, I guess, for this experience. Of course, having the upgrades from the shop, which increase things like damage dealt, experience gained, stuff like that, make all of this way easier on the next kind of run. And because I don't have any of that, I don't necessarily know if I'm going to be okay at surviving the whole time, but we'll see. So garlic is like an AoE around our center, which is nice. Spinach is a general damage buff, which is also nice. And axe is, well, it's like Castlevania's axe. It goes up and then down. Basically, if you want to know how some of these weapons work, Just think Castlevania. They're not hiding it. They're not trying to hide what this is. You know, this is the equivalent of like, man, I really wish I could play Castlevania, but we have Castlevania Home. You know, this is the Castlevania Home. Then again, you know, it's not gonna necessarily have this kind of gameplay, which is unique. I would like to see what Castlevania would come up with. Actually, no, at this point, I don't want to see what, like, Konami would come up with Castlevania, because this is, like, we have this. This will do. We don't need one officially, because this is good. I'll get that, the passive health regen. So, elite mobs, which usually have a little outline around them, or just bigger, will sometimes drop chests. We can open it up and get ourselves some money, as well as a free upgrade. In this case, it's going to upgrade our Santa Water, which is nice. I like that. And it will tell us what kind of upgrade it is. Fires one more projectile and has a base area increase by 20%, which basically just means it's going to launch 2 now, and the area that it leaves the fire is going to be slightly bigger, I believe, which is nice. And those chests can also be very important for especially late game, because those will be able to give us some unlocks that are only per run, unfortunately. But then again, if you had them all the time, they'd probably be a bit broken. But it does a really smart job of getting you to do certain builds. There are definitely builds I like to do in this game. Ooh, more experience might be cool. I don't know, what am I actually looking for in terms of attack items? Nah, we'll do experience. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do much of what I want to do, because I started with a character that I don't usually play. But this is like how you would start the game anyway. Of course, you would start with less choices, because unlocking the other items to choose to be able to make your builds is again tied to the achievements, and you would do it that way. But yeah, you know what? I am very happy with how this is going, and they update it quite frequently. Like in the time that I've had it, which hasn't been very long, they've already done a bunch of major patch things where they've added new items, new upgrades, new characters, and it's progressing a lot, and I like it, and it's keeping me into it. You know, it's keeping me going. But yeah, there are certain items that require you to find chests when you reach level 8 with them, which is the highest level you can usually get with certain weapons. There are some exceptions, I believe. Especially with like passive items, it doesn't always go up to 8. And you can only unlock certain special items when you have a level 8 item and their respective passive item. So for example, if I had the onion, because I have the heart passive upgrade, that would unlock a even more powerful version of the onion at level 8, and I opened a chest. So that is also something to keep in mind too when it comes to making your builds on this. I just feel so underpowered. I just feel like I'm not like getting anywhere in this. I'll do another King Bible. So now I have 2 of these floating around me from time to time. Very useful. Very useful indeed. Maybe I'll do, after this video, maybe I'll do another one where I show off hyper mode and I'm like fully decked out. The only thing is that I generally can win runs like that. I don't know if I'm going to be able to win a run like this. So where this one, you know, this video might be over at like the 13 something minute mark, which is usually around the time I die. Back in the day. Back in the day, you know, when I first started, when I was a fresh vampire survivor. You know, the second video, if I do make that, is probably going to be the full 30 minutes. So do keep that in mind. If I decide to do that, it might be a long one. And I don't know how much I'll be able to actually commentate, because, well, it'll kind of be, especially at like the 20-minute mark, it'll probably be me just standing there, because I get so powerful and there's like so much stuff happening. Like you can usually survive pretty well just by standing still. Which in its own right is probably not necessarily a good thing, but they have implemented something which allows you to like make it harder as you go. So I'm hoping that that's gonna kind of equal it out, you know, make things a little more difficult, make it so it equals out a bit, gives you a bit more of a challenge, even when you are fully upgraded. With the whole, there's a curse system now, which allows more spawn rate, more enemy health. I don't know if there's any, like, benefit to using it. I think it's just to just give yourself a challenge. I don't actually think there's much benefit or any advantage you get for having curse on. But that's nice. All right, hang on. I'm going to use this to be able to weasel my way in and open this chest. What goodies do we get in chest number 2? I'm nowhere near upgraded on any of these things, so I'm not going to get any of the big stuff. But hey, 85 gold and 1 more projectile on our dagger here, which is nice. I can appreciate that. I actually hate these green guys because they take a long time to kill and they do not give a lot of experience. If anything, on the 2 maps that you get, because there are, well, there's technically 3. The third one's like a challenge map, and it's similar in style of this one, but it's just a challenge map that changes it up every minute, which is what most of the maps do. It changes the waves every minute, but both this one and the second one, which is like a library hallway thing, they both have really bad 6-minute waves. Like, the wave that you get specifically at 6 minutes in is kind of butts, and I don't like it. So we've also just got an upgrade, which is the Empty Heart, which increases our maximum health. So I'm going for like a tanky build, if anything, just because, well, I needed the upgraded maximum health because that's what the whip needs to be able to fully upgrade if I'm even going to get to that point. Hey, we got some health. Nice. Sometimes these lanterns or these like torches, whatever, can have health in them, which is very nice because, you know, there's no other way to heal otherwise. Like, the only thing you get is the passive health regen or those healing items. That's it. Well, there are some of the like super weapon upgrades that give you health back, but it's kind of unreliable and I don't like it that much. Probably the whips one is the most consistent. The onions one is meant to give you health back, but I really don't like that one very much. It's very unreliable. I kind of want to kill this bat. I want to kill this bat with the outline so I can get the chest, but I don't know how well I'm going to be able to do that. Oh, he didn't even drop one! Rude! There we go. Now we got double whip. Yeah. So yeah, you have to basically try and fight off things, because if you try and avoid things for too long, you're just not going to get any experience, which means that later levels, later waves at later minutes are going to be a lot harder to deal with because you're going to be underpowered. There's a nice balance you have to find of being able to win at killing the enemies while also making sure you don't fucking die, which I'm being bad at right now. Ooh, I don't like that wave. It's pushing another wave into me. You know, I jokingly said about 13 minutes, though I didn't live for 13 minutes in the game. It's about the video length already. Damn. The Santa water did work, which is surprising because I barely saw it a lot of the time, though some of the elite enemies did die from that. So yeah, that's the general idea of Vampire Survivors. Seems simple, the concept, doesn't it? Like, this game lacks a polish to it. Like, the UI is all over the place. The pixel density is mismatched. Things are, like, stretched in weird ways. But that doesn't matter at the end of the day. The thing that they're working on, the gameplay, you know, the important part, is actually, like, just top. I love it. So here's all the items. I got everything so far. I've got all of those, all of the achievements. I can power myself up like crazy. And the other map I was talking about was, yeah, the inlaid library. That place is has different enemies, different wave combinations, and yeah, they both suck at 6 minutes in. I don't know why. Vampire Survivors. I might do a video where I'm actually like fully powered up, and we'll see how I do on that one. But either way, check it out. It's cheap. It's not even like £3. It is so cheap and definitely worth your time. Check it out. What I'm also going to do is I'll link another game that I think you might enjoy in the little end slate. So check that out. I highly recommend you check out some more games that I've shown off. But I'll see you next time. Take care. Okay, thanks. Bye.